It is 3 in the morning. Your heart is racing, your muscles braced against a memory from years ago. Meet Daniel. By day, he is a highly functioning engineer who has his life handled. But at night, he loses control, trapped reliving a single argument he had with his father in a hospital corridor 6 years ago. For years, Daniel tried to fight it, using brute force. He would clench his jaw and order his mind to shut down. But you cannot win a wrestling match against your own attention in the dark. The harder you push against a thought, the more fuel you hand it. The tragedy of this ambush is that your brain treats a years-old memory as an active threat. It fires off brand new alarms, holding your exhausted body hostage at the very door of sleep. So why does a tired mind keep pressing play? Because the loop wears a very convincing disguise. It whispers that if you review the footage just one more time, you will finally extract the lesson and close the wound. Psychologists call this recounting. Dropping back into the first-person perspective reactivates the raw emotion. You are not analyzing, you are reenacting. A solution was never in the loop's design. A recording does not solve a problem, it only plays. If you have ever finished a night of thinking and felt exhausted rather than wiser, you have your proof. You were not working on the problem, you were being worked on by it. The culprit isn't a character flaw, it's the default mode network. This idle circuit powers on when you stop actively steering. Running unchecked in the dark, it hunts for regret and shame, dragging up the memory that hurts most. Researchers Kross and Ozlem Ayduk spent years studying how to break this cycle. They discovered that escaping the loop relies on where you stand when viewing the memory, not how hard you think about it. When you immerse yourself in a painful memory from the first person, reliving it behind your own eyes, the pain instantly floods back. But when you step back and watch the scene from a distance, as if you were a fly on the wall, your emotional reactivity drops. By observing his younger self from across that hospital room, Daniel shifts his perspective. He can see that the younger man was terrified and that the cruelty came from fear, not malice. Distancing yourself transforms you from the accused into the observer. It turns raw, painful footage into a story you can actually learn from. The pain remains, but perspective is restored. How do we stop the loop from initiating the ambush in the first place? In 1983, psychologist Thomas Borkovec developed a technique called worry postponement. Instead of trying to banish the thought, you give it a firm appointment. You tell the loop that you will give it your full attention at 6 in the evening, rather than 3 in the morning. There is a mechanical piece that makes this work. You have to write the worry down during daylight hours. Putting it on paper gives a formless dread actual edges and limits. Doing this creates 2 outcomes. First, you drain the loop of its momentum before your head hits the pillow. Second, when you face that memory in the daylight, on your own terms, it loses its teeth. Scheduling strips the memory of its false nighttime urgency. What felt like a life or death reckoning at 3 a.m. turns out to be a tired mind chewing on an old bone. These modern lab techniques mirror a discipline a Roman emperor was training 2,000 years ago. During sleepless nights, Marcus Aurelius wrote to himself in the third person. He watched his own reactions from an emotional distance, observing his thoughts the way a general watches a battlefield from a hill. The philosopher Epictetus realized that men are not disturbed by things, but by their judgments about things. Your seat in front of the memory, whether you are drowning or watching, is a judgment. What modern science now confirms with blood pressure cuffs, the Stoics confirmed with their journals. The mind's posture toward the past can be consciously trained. While distancing and scheduling are different tools, they lead to the same result. You stop being the helpless passenger of your own mind and become the one who decides. True discipline in this context is not screaming at the mind to stop. It is the quiet, deliberate act of taking the wheel back from the idle circuit. Your mind will not suddenly go silent tonight. The first replay will likely still start. The victory is not in the silence, but in the seat you choose to take. When the loop comes tonight, do not fight it. Step back, take the seat by the wall, and reclaim your sleep.